everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we're finally gonna flip through my whole 2025 reading journal, and before doing that we're also gonna talk about some books I've been reading recently and towards the end of the year while I set up book pages for them. I didn't read much in the last quarter of the year, so I decided to include books that I also read in January. So without further introductions, let's jump right in with the first book I read during the Halloween season, which is called Blackwicket by Bea Northwick. Bea Northwick is the author of my favorite book from last year, which was The Cruel Dark. I believe it was her first book, and now she came out with a completely new story, and I've known for the whole year that I definitely want to read this one. So Blackwicket is a little bit different from The Cruel Dark. I'd say that this is more in the romantasy genre. So it has some fantasy, it has some spicy enemies to lovers romance, and we also get these slightly horror, haunted house, gothic vibes that we also got in The Cruel Dark. The main character in this story is a curse eater, and she finds out that her sister that she's been separated from for a few years mysteriously dies. So she returns to their abandoned family mansion and starts to discover the mystery of her death and uncover all these dark secrets from her past. I thought this was a very interesting setting, and the whole world really expands with the book. Actually, when I got into this, I thought it was a standalone, but it definitely is the first book in a series, and the ending leaves everything pretty open for this world to keep expanding. I really like Bea Northwick's writing style. I also like her characters, and I especially love how she writes her male love interests. I'd say that the spice in this book is not overpowering. It was well sprinkled in with an actual plot and world building, though I must say that there were some a little unusual things in the spicy scenes towards the end, and I didn't really know how to feel about it. If you give this a go, you might understand what I mean. The whole fantasy aspect feels pretty unique, but nothing extraordinary at the same time. I'd say that the beginning of this book was a little bit slow for me, but then maybe from around the 20% mark, I literally could not put this down for 2 straight days. It still took me quite a while to finish this book, just because I was really busy with my shop winter launch at the time, but I still really enjoyed reading this book. In general, I didn't like this as much as The Cruel Dark, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue this series. I might, depending on how long it will take for the next book to come out. But for anyone looking for romantasy in a slightly different setting with some mystery vibes and good writing, I definitely think that this is worth giving a try. It has barely any reviews on Goodreads. It's a very new book from a lesser known author at the moment, so especially if you haven't read The Cruel Dark yet, please do yourself a favor and give this author a go and see if her writing style is for you. My spread here ended up quite cramped. I had a lot of pictures, so I decided to put all of them on the right page and sprinkle in some Mochi Bujo stickers. I don't know if I liked the black swirls I added later. I just kind of felt like I wanted something more between the images. But I do like the text box and title here on the left side. And I feel like these dark colors and moody images really suits the vibes of this book overall. But anyway, then let's move on to the next book I read, which is Crooked House by none other than Agatha Christie. I actually started this in early January. December was a little bit rough for me with my pregnancy and trying to manage the shop launch at the same time. We also had to change hospitals and there was all this extra stuff going on, so I didn't really have much mental capacity for reading. But during my holiday break, I knew that I needed a cozy murder mystery, some page turner type of book to get me back to reading again. I've actually read a lot of Agatha Christie when I was younger, but this was the first one I've read in quite a few years. I think I saw Elizabeth from Plant-Based Bride talking about it, and I was especially intrigued after hearing that it's one of those murder mysteries that is solvable. So there are no hidden clues or anything like that, but I still didn't manage to solve this case while reading. For me, that is actually a good thing though. I personally hate murder mysteries where I guess what's gonna happen, and then if there are no extra twists anywhere, the ending often ends up feeling very underwhelming for me. So with this one, I really liked the ending, and in general, it was just a very standard Agatha Christie style murder mystery with a big family and some good old family drama. I wouldn't say that it was the best book I read from her. I think my favorites are Death on the Nile and Then There Were None. However, that one I read a long time ago, and there are definitely some very old-fashioned, poorly aged choices in that book. So maybe do a little bit of research before picking it up. But this one is definitely one that I'd recommend if you like her style and haven't read it yet. I used some of my own shop products on this spread and wanted to go with this pretty neutral color palette. But then after Crooked House, I was struggling a bit coming up with a book I wanted to start next, because again, I was in a mood for something quick and pretty easy. And then I remembered this series that I started earlier last year called The Girl Meets Duke by Tessa Dare, and I picked up the second book in this series called The Governess Game. I describe this series as historical rom-com, and this was no different from the first one. It starts right away, it's so funny and entertaining, it has your typical romance spice in there, and all in all, this is a book for times you just want to laugh and have a good time. So if you're in a need for a pick-me-up mood read, I'd highly recommend checking out this series if it sounds like anything you'd be interested in. I'd say that the writing is still pretty good. The plot is quite straightforward, nothing spectacular, but I just really love the characters and how in every book we have a love story with a different character that you already know from the previous books. You don't need to read all the books in this series in one go. This story doesn't really continue like that. And personally, I see this being a series for me that I pick up whenever I need something reliable, good and fun. I think I might have enjoyed this second book even a little bit more than the first one because I just ended up falling in love with Alexandra, who's the main character. And there are also two of the most insanely morbid kids in this book that created some very funny moments. I finished this book pretty much just before filming this video, so it's the last book I'm gonna include in this one and possibly in this journal. However, I did already start reading my next book, which is Heated Rivalry. I've heard everyone talking about this series, but I wanted to pick up the book instead. I also couldn't find the series anywhere in Japan, and I've basically not been able to put this down. But anyway, now it's time to flip back to the start of 2025 and go through all the pages I set up this year. I did use the same journal also for 2024, but I already have a whole flip through video of that, so I'll just link it down below. All in all, this was honestly not a strong reading year for me. I'm a little bit disappointed at how few books I read, even after cheating and including the January books. I try not to put too much pressure on how much I read, but I don't really like the trend I've been having for the past few years, where it feels like every year I tend to read a little bit less than the previous year. That being said, I did have a lot going on this year, and reading is also not my only hobby, so there are always other things that are competing for my downtime, and still I love flipping through this reading journal and seeing all these pages and being reminded of the worlds and memories I went through gives me a lot of motivation to keep reading. I have decided to not have a reading journal this year, or at least not post regular videos about it, because our first baby is due in April and I'm gonna take some time away from making videos and running my shop, and I don't know how much I'm able to read after the baby is here in general. However, if I have time, I might still use this journal for the books I read up until the birth, because there's still room in it and I kind of want to have a record of the books I read somewhere. So I might at least use the book cover page and maybe even write some quick notes somewhere. But anyway, when it comes to the books I did read this year, the series that definitely stands out to me is the Mistborn series. You can see from the rating alone that The Hero of Ages was my favorite book of the year. I gave it 9.5 out of 10, which is always the sum total of 4 different categories I tend to review my books on, which are plot and the world, then the writing, characters, and entertainment value. So those are the 4 criteria I review my books on, and then I just calculate the final score. I also had no DNFs this year, which is quite surprising, and generally I liked pretty much everything I read. I think my favorite book spread in this journal is either the Mistborn spread or this dark academia vibe spread for If We Were Villains, which was also a very notable and memorable book for me this year. I would love to hear in the comments what was your favorite book from last year, because I love hearing your guys' recommendations and adding those to my reading list on Goodreads. I've found so many good books and series from just hearing your guys' recommendations. I did make effort to read more standalones this year, because I realized that I especially struggle with longer series, but I do feel like I'm starting to get ready for a new duology or even trilogy soon. But I think that's pretty much all for this video. If I end up reading a lot this spring, I might still film one extra reading journal video just talking about the books and setting up book pages, but I don't want to promise anything because I really don't know how the rest of my pregnancy is gonna go. Anyway, I really hope you got some new ideas or reading inspiration from this video, or just enjoyed following along. If this was your first time around here and you'd like to stay tuned for more art and journaling stuff, definitely consider subscribing. But I guess that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye!